How you doing, fight fans? It's Timmy Shoes with Inside Fighting, and I've got an amazing guest with me here today, undefeated featherweight, Isaac Dulgarian. Isaac, thank you for being here. How you doing, my man?
Yes, always, man. I'm blessed, man. I feel good, feel great, healthy. Everything's going good right now.
That's good to hear. You've got a fight coming up, Christian Rodriguez at UFC Vegas 88. We're just about a month away, so I'm guessing you're in your camp. How's camp going? How's training going? What can we expect?
It's going good, man. The last few weeks have been hard. I've been kind of sick and stuff, but still getting all my workouts in, getting all my training. It's just been a hard push for me. Uh, but the good thing is if I'm pushing through when I feel bad, I'm going to be able to push through in this fight. So it should be a good fight.
I expect a great fight because for people who don't know, you have six first round finishes. And I checked in the amateurs, you're 4-0 in the amateurs, and you also have four first round finishes. So I got to ask, what can we expect a first round finish this time against Christian Rodriguez?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm truly capable of doing this in this fight. But Christian, he's a tough opponent. He's never been finished, but neither was my last opponent. But Christian's good everywhere. He's not a slouch in any position. He's good in every position, and he's gonna make me work for it. So it's not something he's gonna give me. I'm gonna have to take it from him, and that's just how it's gonna be.
Now, I wanted to ask you, you won your UFC contract after you knocked out a guy named TJ Britton. And for people who don't know, TJ Britton is 6'4" as a featherweight. Now you're five
Yeah.
seven, which is about average height for a featherweight. I have a pet theory that I think MMA fans really overrate height as an attribute. Like height can help, but it can also take certain things away. Do you agree with that? Do you think height is overrated?
Somewhat. If a fighter knows how to use his length at a high level and keep his range, it's really hard to get inside where you need to be as a shorter fighter. In that case, though, fighting TJ Britton, I was able to find a takedown early and get to my ground and pound. And I found a clean shot on him, and he's strong and a tough guy for being that tall. I didn't expect him to be as strong as he was. Um, but the tall guys have a lot of leverage too, especially on the
Yeah.
ground. So you got to be careful with that. Um, but yeah, in that fight, I landed a clean shot, and I'm small and compact, so when I land those shots, there's a lot of power in them.
Yep, you got that build, short and powerful. So I wanted to ask you because there's another undefeated featherweight fighting this weekend. Ilia Topuria is taking on Volkanovski, who is also undefeated at featherweight. And so I wanted to get your take on that fight. Volk on DraftKings right now, Volk is a minus 125 favorite, and Topuria is a plus 105 underdog. So the odds are very close. A lot of people are going with Volk, and a lot of people are going with Topuria. So I want your take.
Man, that's such a tough fight because Volk is probably one of the greatest featherweights of all time, um, and he's one of the smartest fighters in the game across all weight classes.
Oh yeah.
Ilya, on the other hand, he made it all the way to this title fight basically using only boxing. He hasn't even
Yeah.
shown most of his skills. Like he's a great wrestler, great in the clinch, and so I don't really know who to go with here. Um, I like Topuria. I think he's a little. Some of the interviews he's putting out are a little over the top, but that's the game. So um, if I was putting money on it, I would go Volk just because I know he's a seasoned vet. I know he's coming off the loss to Islam with the knockout, but I think true champions recover from stuff like that and get right back on the right foot. So if I was putting money, I'd go Volk, but I expect a crazy fight and I expect fireworks.
I'm sure it's going to be amazing. Now, you mentioned Volk is one of the greatest of all time, and I agree. Some people debate about whether he's already the greatest featherweight or if it's still Jose Aldo. Some people feel like if Volk wins this fight, then he's the greatest featherweight. How do you see it? Because it's your division. Who's your GOAT?
I mean, I love Jose Aldo, man. I grew up watching him fight, and like in everywhere that he fought. So I grew in the WC when he was champion, and then he came over to the UFC. I love his style, and I love his story. I think Volk may be the greatest of all time, just because the sport's evolved so much since
Right.
Jose Aldo started. But I think if Jose Aldo was here at this time, if he was born at the same time we were, I think he'd be right there in the mix as well. You know, it's just the game's changing. The opponents are getting tougher. The fighting's getting tougher. It's not really. It's like people do the same debate with like Anderson Silva, but like
Right.
they're saying, oh, his opponents weren't that good, but also he would have evolved even more too as the time went on. So that's a hard call, man. For me personally, I love Jose Aldo.
I agree. Jose Aldo's gonna always be the GOAT for me. Maybe if Volk wins. I think if Volk beats Topuria and then gets another couple wins, it's gonna be hard to deny him. But right now, I
Yeah.
think it's still Jose Aldo. So, what are your plans from here? I know you had a LCL tear, I believe it was, that held you back for a little bit. What is your plan for this year? You're going to be fighting now in March. Say, do you want a quick turnaround after Christian Rodriguez? What can we expect?
I think if I'm coming off a win, my daughter's going to be born a couple weeks after I fight. So I'm hoping to spend a couple months, maybe a month and a half back in Kansas City, just around my family and stuff to get help and get started. And then we'll come back here and get another fight camp. I think if we get a win, we'll hopefully fight in like August, September, and then another one late in the year, hoping for 3 fights this year.
Awesome.
If it's a loss, we're going to have to turn it around and get another fight. You know, I gotta put food on the table for this baby. So,
Well, congratulations on the daughter. I actually have a daughter due in June. So
okay,
we're going to be sharing that experience of fatherhood. So
let's
I
go.
wanted to ask you, a lot of people are wondering what the UFC 300 main event is going to be. Some people think it's going to be Conor Chandler. Some people think it might be, Adesanya versus Pereira at 205, or maybe Adesanya versus Dricus du Plessis. What would you want to see if Isaac Dulgarian could pick? What would you want to see?
I don't want to see Adesanya versus Poatan again. That's what
Yeah,
I would want to see. Um, because the reason being is after Izzy knocked out Poatan the last time, he basically said it's over, it's done, when
right.
he'd already got beaten 3 times. You know, and at this high of a level of competition in any sport, but especially in fighting, if you compete with someone 4 times, or yeah, 4 times, eventually you're going to get one. You know, even
Right.
if you're not the better fighter, you're going to get one. You understand their skills, you understand what they're doing, and you've had multiple chances to try to find another avenue to win. So I would love to see that fight again because I don't think it's over, man. I personally don't think it's over. If it was me, I wouldn't think it's over. And Poatan, I watched one of his interviews and he put out that Izzy kind of saved his life
Yeah.
by saying a bunch of things when they fought in Glory Kickboxing, and he kind of like chased him down and wanted to get that fight back and stuff. So I love that story, man. It's an awesome story and just shows competitive nature all around.
I love that story too. I do think Izzy said that the rivalry was done, but maybe if Poatan won the 205 belt, that he would consider it. So it's up in the air. I have to ask if it happens, if it's Alex Pereira versus Israel Adesanya, what's your prediction for that fight? If you had to put money on it, who are you putting money on?
I got Poatan all day. That dude's
Poatan.
scary, man.
Yeah,
He's
he is.
scary. Like Izzy's cool. He's an awesome fighter, amazing fighter, beautiful to watch, everything. But Poatan, that's one dude that like I wouldn't fight him with a 9mm gun. Like you need something to bring down a big animal for that
Yeah.
guy. Like no way, no way. He's huge.
Yeah, he is huge. I met him in Rio, and he's an intimidating guy. Like I was just
Yeah,
asking him questions and stuff as a reporter, and I was like, he's scary. He's a big dude.
yeah.
He's scary. All right, so we're excited for your fight with Christian Rodriguez. Thank you so much for being here. Is there any message or anything you want to get out there in the world before we go?
Yeah, man, I just want to give a shout out to all my Armenian fans. My Armenian fans show a lot of love to me all over. Shout out to Kansas City. There's just a shooting in Kansas City during the
Yeah.
Super Bowl parade. You know, prayers to Kansas City. And just much love to all the people showing me support, man. It takes a lot in this sport, and I don't do it by myself. So there's a lot of people involved behind the scenes that got me to this level and keep me at this level. So much love to those guys.
All right, awesome to hear. Thank you, Isaac, and we look forward to seeing your performance at UFC Vegas 88 on March 16th.
Appreciate it, brother. Have a good one.